Words for the viewers there?
No, you need to get one.
He said you need to get one. Welcome back, Berzerkers. Today we've got El Jefe himself. You remember him from the Model X Plaid video, but today we've got him in the Model 3. He's gonna finally get a chance to do a real deep test drive on the Model 3 and see how it stacks up to his Ducati and his Porsche. Guys, what I'd like for you to do today, we have so many international viewers. Do me a favor, drop a comment and let me know where you are. We've got people from Germany, Australia, all over Europe and Asia, and we really want to get to know you guys. Just drop a comment, just let me know where you're watching from. We're glad that you're here viewing, so mount up, Berzerkers, we're going to the battle. All right, guys, we're here with El Jefe himself, Travis Idle. You guys have seen him before on the channel. He took a ride in a Model X Plaid, and so he's no stranger to Tesla acceleration. He's also taken you took a quick test drive in the Model 3 before, but just for a minute or two, and you didn't open it up or nothing. You just pointed basically across the street.
Right.
So this will be your first real deep dive into the Model 3.
Yep.
All right. So I can't wait to see his reaction to it. I know you guys are looking forward to it, so let's do it.
All right, I am not Barbarian size.
So here's what we do. Right now, you are in what's called easy entry mode. So the car will automatically move the steering wheel back and the seat back to give plenty of room for getting in and out of the car. I'm going to set you up with the guest profile that we have for these test rides here. So now, if it was a profile called Travis, every time you got into the car and sat down, it would automatically adjust everything to your previously set settings. So if I was to choose somebody else's, it would go for their settings. All right, so put your foot on the brake.
Yep.
And then this is the gear shift stalk. Just push it down until it clicks. Until it clicks. And so now we're in drive. And I'm showing you that. Go ahead and take your foot off the brake. And you see the H right here? We're holding in place. If this was another car, this would be rolling forward and would hit your Ducati. And we don't need that in our life.
I want that.
So put your foot back on the brake and push it up until it clicks. Now we're in reverse.
Okay.
You hear the old UFO alien sounds?
Yep.
You've got your 360 cameras here. So whenever you're ready, just give a little accelerator and give yourself some room to get around your motorcycle. Okay. Yep. Yeah, hit the gas.
All right.
All right.
Drive, okay.
Yep. So we'll just go around the parking lot a couple of times so that you can feel that regen braking. I know you drove it for just a minute a few weeks back, but when you let your foot off of the accelerator, you feel that? So that is the motors use the inertia of the car, and as they spin, they're putting electricity back into the battery. You feel the smoothness of the acceleration there?
Oh yeah, man.
Because it's instant torque, electricity passes through the motor and immediately begins to spin that rotational motion. You don't have the work of the engine where fuel has to be put into the cylinders, it has to be compressed, it has to be mixed with air, spark plugs have to ignite, that fuel has to explode, the explosions turn into a certain type of kinetic motion, etc., etc., etc. There's very few moving parts on the drivetrain on these. It's just the motor right there in between the front tires, the motor right there in between the two back tires, electricity passes through and it starts to spin. And give him a little bit of space to get out ahead of us, and then you are in care and control of the vehicle, and you decide how much acceleration you throw into it, but it is entirely up to you. Oh yeah, nice. Nice. You feel how that's instant?
Yes.
It's just right there at the ready?
Yes.
Now one thing that I like, so here we are, we're traveling at highway speeds. If you feather that accelerator, just give it you see how it's right there? If you need to get out of a bad situation or get somewhere, really move, it's that horsepower is there for you.
That it is.
Now how does this compare so far to your Porsche? Because you got a Porsche Macan.
I do,
yeah.
The ride rides smooth, just like that. It rides a little higher, so you're a little further up off. But obviously that instant torque is just not there.
Is not there in the Porsche?
No, and I mean it's a turbo, so there's a lag. Not much of a lag, but there is a lag.
Now, as a Ducati owner and a big-time bike enthusiast like you are, I've never ridden a motorcycle. What is the excitement level of the throttle in a motorcycle, and then compare it to something like this?
On a leader bike, so 1,000 cc's and up, and I don't think it really matters what age they are. If you crack the throttle on them, you better be holding on. Most of them are 0 to 60, and even the older ones are probably still sub 3 seconds for sure.
Yeah.
It's a
you'll
little
want to
more,
get over one lane when you
okay.
get a chance. It's not bleeding. It's not on fire.
It's a little more savage, it feels, but it's also because you're more prone, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you crack it really hard, you start to slide a little bit.
Gotcha.
In the seat. And so most of them, you can almost back your body up against the rear fairing before you get into it.
Understood.
But this is, I mean, as quick a response, this is closer than any automobile for sure.
So the responsiveness of this most closely compares, you'll get over one more lane whenever you're ready. Most closely compares to that throttle response of a motorcycle than other vehicles you felt?
Absolutely, yeah. Even the higher end sports cars, yeah. I know we rode in the X Plaid. There's nothing like that.
Yeah, that's a whole other level.
It is close to a motorcycle, although it's different. But in an automobile, there's nothing like that.
Now, what are your thoughts on the handling of this car?
I mean, I like the fact that there's no body roll. That low center of gravity. It's not my car, so I'm not going to take corners at high rates of speed. But it seems like it would hold very nice.
You do what you need to put it through the paces there, boss.
I believe in you break it, you bought it kind of thing.
The battery pack being essentially the entire floor of the vehicle, it keeps all that weight down here as opposed to the massive weight of the engine up front and up high. So it definitely feels better to me. It feels different.
I think it drives like it's heavy, but it doesn't. Handling, it doesn't handle like it's heavy.
Mm-hmm. Put your hand on this stalk and tap it down twice. All right. So
that's the blue.
That's the blue lane markings. Now the car's in charge. You could conceivably take your hands off the wheel, and it will.
And it's in charge of acceleration and stopping. And everything?
So don't do anything right now. Don't do anything. I know it feels weird. But
that is weird,
isn't it?
Wow, that's weird.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Right?
That's nice.
Isn't that crazy? If you go down once, puts it into adaptive cruise control, which means you're in charge of all the steering, but it will take care of acceleration, and it will slow down the vehicle in response to slowing down traffic in front of you.
And that's on conventional vehicles.
Yes.
Won't change lanes and things like that.
It won't change lanes, no. Down twice will put on the basic autopilot that I have. It will maintain lane. It will do with the adaptive cruise control, but it will not change lanes for you. That's a step up. That's another feature that you have to pay for. It's called enhanced autopilot.
Available for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's available. Yeah. And then there's full self-driving, where you put in a destination and it will come up to the stoplight, it will check traffic, it will make the right turn, it will drive you everywhere.
Okay.
And actually the Model S that we rented did have that, and Ash, the king of men, he did a video where he let it drive him from his house to the supercharger down there on the road we were just on. And it did the whole way without intervention, the entire way. Which he said it was weird, because to watch the steering wheel completely turn and make entire turns all through town. And
will it park? So did it park at the supercharger?
It will go to where you set it to go to.
Okay.
It does have park assist. You can actually set it to park it'll even parallel park for you right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Isn't that nice? It gets addictive. You can't stop.
Your passengers get seasick because you're throttling and.
Not yet.
Regen and throttle and regen.
Not yet. Ash has a penchant for falling asleep though, because it kind of starts to feel like it's rocking you to sleep.
Where are we going?
So you're gonna
back on the highway.
Yeah, you're gonna get back on the highway, and I'm gonna let Autopilot really show its soul, because what it's made of is something that really needs to be seen on the highway.
And that came standard for your package?
Yeah, it's free with all the Tesla models right now. Right this moment, I could take my phone out, right? Go into the app. And in the app, there's an upgrades section. And I could download acceleration boost and add horsepower to this thing by downloading it to the car. I could also download enhanced autopilot. I could also download full self-driving. The acceleration boost is $2,000, so you'd hit that. It would charge $2,000 to your payment information on file, and then it would download it to the car. You have to reset the car, which is simple to do. And then when it fires back up, now you've got a car that does 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds.
What does it do now?
4.2.
Really?
On paper,
it seems faster than that.
I have had people tell me that it's actually faster when they do it on a draggy, but a lot of things come into play. We did a video before with, we call him Travis, the rocket surgeon.
Oh, so the battery preparation
yes, if it's at the high state of charge and the battery is warm enough, then it will do faster, and you can even get it below that documented paper 0 to 60 time. So go ahead and hit the stalk down twice. And now you're on autopilot. And let the relaxation commence. So over here on this scroll wheel, you see how this says 65 max?
Yep.
So you can set that to what you want it to be. So right now it's at 70 max. And it will adapt to the vehicle in front of you. Now the guest profile, if I remember correctly, is set for the longest following distance for safety. But if you click this scroll wheel to the right, you see this right here?
Yep.
It will reduce the following distance.
That's car lengths?
That's car lengths, yep. So now I've just reduced it to 2 car lengths, and you see how it's getting closer to the car in front of you?
Yeah.
So that is your current speed. That's the max speed. So if you've got wide open runway, it'll go all the way up to 72 miles an hour right now.
Okay.
On its own.
Yep.
But right now it's adapting to the speed of the car in front of us, allowing for those 2 car lengths to stay right there.
And this will stay on until you turn it off?
Yes. So let's go ahead and get off here. Now
do you turn it off first?
You already did. But yeah. So if you touch the brake, it will take off the entirety of autopilot.
Okay.
You don't have to be ginger with it. It ain't gonna
man.
you
can't tear up your stuff.
Yeah, but you're not going to tear it up. That's actually the point. That wear and tear, like, in my opinion, based upon what I've seen, what I've experienced, and everyone I've spoken to, even the ones who have high mileage vehicles, letting it loose and cracking it open and really putting it through its paces, the wear and tear is essentially limited to the tires. Because you could eat up some tires in these.
I was going to ask, so you've had this, how many miles do you have on it?
7,000 now.
Okay. And how many miles are you expecting to get out of these tires?
To get out of these tires, I don't know, because we do so many test rides and let people open it up. But I've rotated them at 5,000. You want to get to the next lane over. I rotated them at 5,000, and I'll rotate them again at 10,000.
And we talked about the fact that they are same size all around.
Yes, these are.
Yep.
So it's I can't believe you looked at it.
Look at that. You don't give them the evil eyes you take off?
No. I don't do much with the actual,
You don't give them the Barbarian wink?
Does the Barbarian have a wink?
I don't know.
I thought the Barbarian had like a war cry or something.
You can go with that if you want.
But so you saw how well the autopilot performed on the highway.
Oh yeah.
Versus on city streets, it has some hiccups and some kinks. It's not really, I mean, it can be used here, but it's not really made for that. It's made for the highway. But you can turn it on here. So little things like if you turn it on the city street, the max speed here is limited. You can only go 5 over the speed limit on the city street.
And the powers that be know that.
Yes.
Okay.
The car knows that because it's reading the speed limit sign.
Okay, right here.
No, I was pointing at the speed limit sign. The car knows that because it reads the speed limit signs. It uses a combination of GPS data and the camera up here reading the speed limit signs. So you own a Porsche, you own a Ducati like we talked about. Now you have ridden in a Model X Plaid and you have driven the Model 3 and done a real good deep dive into it. What are your thoughts?
They're amazing vehicles. The technology is just amazing.
Yeah, there's no denying that the tech that's in there. What are your thoughts on the acceleration and the handling?
Unlike any car or vehicle I've ever driven, for sure.
And if I'm reading you right, I feel like the Autopilot is what impressed you the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the ability to be there in case something goes wrong, but yet let it kind of take over is nice.
The car kind of takes care of you.
That's exactly right.
So you heard it from El Jefe. He's driven a lot of fantastic vehicles. He owns a couple of them that people would say are absolutely fantastic. And for him, he says it's amazing, the Model 3. So, any final words for the viewers there?
No, you need to get one.
He said you need to get one. You need to get one.
I need to get one.
He needs to get one. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe. We have more great content like this coming for you, and we'll see you guys in the next battle.